excited to welcome in Bob Lowe's, the assistant director of player development, player personnel with the Vegas Golden Knights, the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knights. Bobby, welcome to the show. I'll say congratulations now, although you're not even thinking about last year. But I got to ask you, Bob, before we get to Saturday's event with the cup and everything, what is it like, Lowesy, to win the Stanley Cup? What's it like?
Well, you'd know from your dad when he won it that it's something, if you've grown up in Canada, you've been involved in hockey, that it's a dream come true. And I think you first, dream of winning it as a player, but it's so hard to play in the league. And then just trying to work in the league is hard enough. But once you get there and you're able to work in the league, you know you're close enough to hopefully have an opportunity to win it. And lucky enough to win it.
Was there luck involved? Let's be honest. You had some bad luck in the first 5 years. Was there luck involved in the sixth year to finally bring it home?
I think you need a little, some luck. I think we didn't even make the playoffs the year before because of injuries, pretty much. And this year, I think last year we avoided them or any major injuries that could change your lineup. So our lineup was pretty consistent throughout, and guys were playing with pretty good health. So I think that's a big part of the luck, I think.
Well, I'm sure you spent the summer saying this exact thing to all your friends and so forth, but you're going to have the cup this weekend. So, when you grew up in PA and you were playing road hockey and you were playing on the ice and you thought about winning the Stanley Cup, you actually did it. You probably thought about what you'd do with it if you brought it home, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. But this weekend you finally get to. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's real exciting getting it to bring it to Regina, which, we grew up in PA, summer at Emma Lake. So there was, an opportunity maybe to bring it up there with Chandler Stevenson being up there and getting it. And then it just didn't work out that way. And we were able to bring it to the Queen City. And, at first I didn't know what we were going to do with it, but then Shelley, my wife, stepped up. She had it all planned out and had thought about it without telling me. And we're pretty excited about what we're able to do with it with regards to October being Cancer Month, our breast cancer month, and being able to, hopefully generate some funds for their Empower group that does some good things in the community with cancer patients.
Yeah, you've turned it into a fundraiser, which I thought this is genius for Empower. So do you have anything to do with that, or should we get Shelley on to explain how this is going to go down on Saturday?
Well, it's more Shell, actually. When I told her I was going to be on your show, I said, you can explain it better. But, my wife had cancer 10 years ago and then became involved. There's a group of women that, started a fundraiser or started out raising funds to help educate women and do fitness classes with women that have gone through breast cancer after. And I can't get into all the inner workings of it, but I know it does a lot of good things in the community for people that are afflicted with this, tough disease.
Right. Well, I read the whole thing. So 2 to 4 p.m. at the Cooperators Center, Cooperators Arena in Regina this Saturday. Show up, make a donation to Empower. You'll get a ticket or a slip, a reservation, basically, right, to get in line, and only 100 will be sold. So it's a donation to Empower. That's the fundraiser portion of this. But I'm not done on the bringing it to Regina. I'm sure this probably tore you up because I know how much you love PA. Lowesy, the gateway to the north, PA.
The city by the river. The city by the river, the gateway to the north. I always sing that to Kelly McCrimmon. Crim laughs every time I sing that. The other one is you can't spell paradise without PA. So
I thought it was party. Depending which way you're going on the Diefenbaker Bridge, it could be the gateway to the south. That's That's the one I
Yes.
thought you were going to say, right?
Yeah,
but I
that's
thought
true.
if Krim could get away with taking the cup to Brandon, and let's be honest, I know why, and not plenty, then you can get away with bringing it to Regina. Absolutely. It's a lifelong thing. You should enjoy it and not have to worry about these decisions. But I got to ask you this about you were pretty much a day one guy, right? If Krim was day one, then you would have been day 1.5, right? So that's got to feel good to be with something from the start to the fruition.
Yeah, it was exciting when Krim got the job. I was excited for him. I'd always told him that he was more than able to work in the league, and that the NHL, you kind of put it on a pedestal sometimes, but what he'd done in Brandon, or what you do in junior, especially as a GM, is just like the NHL light, with what you're doing with drafting, developing, trading, running a team, how to put a team together. I think there's a lot to it that transfers into the NHL. The only thing you don't have in junior is salary cap. But I think that Kelly, right away, we had talked about it, and I was really excited to be on the staff to begin with. And from day one, with how it's gone, with Vaughn Karp and myself and Kelly, George McPhee, it's really exciting, and all our scouts and hockey operations people. It's the big thing is you start a culture in your organization. I think we were able to start a really good culture, which starts within the organization, and then transfers once you get your team and gets on the ice. So it's exciting to be able to win the cup with a group of people that have been together for a long time, or been through right from start to now. So it's exciting.
Hey, it's good to see you, Lozy. I got a million questions for you. I haven't talked to you in so long. Somebody said to me, it may be easier to win the Stanley Cup than the Memorial Cup based on the year-end tournament factor. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it is. I agree. I being a coach and being being there 3 times. I think I was at the Memorial Cup as a coach. Once as an assistant in Seattle when we hosted. 95 when we lost the league final to Kamloops, who was hosting, and then 96 when we won it and went to Peterborough. And it was tough. It's a tough tournament. It's pretty exciting to win your league. You're playing against the teams you play against all the time. Then you go to a tournament format from a 7-game format, and there is a lot of luck involved in that tournament. We've seen it, and it's hard to win. 7-game series, you get the best team win for sure, and the strengths and the weaknesses show out over 7 games. It can mask in one game. You get a hot goaltender. I know in Kamloops, we felt we were the second best team in that tournament, along with Kamloops. I'm not sure we would have beat them in the final at home. But we played Detroit, and their goalie got hot, and we lost 2-1. And the same could be said in Peterborough. The home team beat us, goaltending and a little bit of refereeing. In those days, the refs from each league that hosted there was no bringing refs in from other leagues. So
yeah,
it was a tough. Those were tough situations to get through in a tournament format. And 7-game series, you get the best team for sure.
Yeah, well, when the guy said it, I was like, you can't. When he said it's easier to win the Stanley Cup, I'm like, it's not easy to win the Stanley Cup, but when you put it that way, yeah, I could see why you definitely would say that. Well, Bobby, I appreciate the time. Congratulations again, and have a great time on Saturday, man. If anybody's earned it, it's your family. Way to go.
Well, thanks very much, Rod, for having me on. I really appreciate you plugging what we're doing with the Cup, and I enjoy your show. I watch it quite a bit, and I'm honored to be on.
I appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Bobby Lowe's of the Vegas Golden Knights.